So I'm Lara. I'm going to host this kickoff. I will explain how it works. I will be here all the times to solve any questions, any problems that you may have. Let me see 1 second. There it is. Okay. So how it works. So every day we're gonna have Patrick, in this case, that is our coach, new activities in the app. So they're usually really quick and easy, very simple, do not require much time. The coach will explain what we have to do. We want to have a chat as well, so where we can interact with me, or in this case, with Patrick. So yeah, today is a very special day for me because it's the first time that I'm hosting. It's more special even because I have the honor of being able to introduce the coach in this case for this team challenge, Patrick. So what can I say? Born in Germany, if I'm correct, and grew up in San Diego. You, Patrick, you've been studying international relations. What else? Political science, the mind, and other practices. You have more than 20 years of experience in martial arts. Is that correct? Yeah, so you live your passion as a professional leader. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about what we're gonna do in these 7 days.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for introducing me, and welcome in the meantime, Jen, which joined us. All right, so yeah, I'm Patrick. You can call me Patrick. My friends call me Patrick. Some people call me Pat. But I prefer Patrick, and I just know that the power that appreciation has in changing the way that we live our days and experience our moments. So I'm here today just to kind of kick off this challenge, tell you a little story. We'll do a little activity, what we'll be doing over the course of the 7 days. And now that you have my face, live virtually, feel free to connect with me via the app or Lara if there's any specific questions. And yeah, let's get the show started. I have a little presentation that I put together. Optimize, there we go. 7 days of gratitude with Patrick, hosted by Lara. So I actually want to start with a story. And I was using this story often to explain what it means to be mindful. But listening to, a friend sent me like a recording of a podcast, and the gentleman used the story in a different way. So that's what I want to tell you today. So just bear with me as I explain this story. There was an individual that was, making their way through the jungle. And all of a sudden, a tiger jumped out, hungry tiger. And instinctively, the individual started to run away. And the tiger was chasing this person. The person's thinking, where do I go? I can't outrun this tiger. Oh, there's a cliff. And hanging off this cliff is a vine. So they slide off the cliff, take hold of the vine, and are dangling there. The tiger's above them, trying to reach them, but they can't. So they're holding on to this vine. It turns out that this vine has thorns and spikes on it. So one of the thorns pierced the hand, and the person's bleeding a bit and in some pain. So they're thinking what to do. They can't go up. They look down, and there's a little ledge that they can let go and land onto. Yes. And just as they're about to let go, the second tiger comes on that ledge and starts reaching for them from the bottom. Tiger on top, tiger on bottom. Not a very comfortable situation to be in. Some pain as well. What next? Mice start. There's some mice on the vine, and the mice start chewing away at the vine. So what does this person do? Well, they look around and they notice that there's this berry bush growing out of the side of the cliff. And they reach over, pick one of the berries, look at it. Oh, it's just so lush and beautiful and juicy. Put it in the mouth, they eat it. Mmm, so great. So there's many morals to this story, but for our sake, let's focus a little bit on appreciation. Now, the tigers represent something that we all will face one day. One of the hard truths in life is that we are not immortal, that we will one day die. Okay. And the mice or the rats represent time. Sometimes we have longer time hanging on the vine, sometimes shorter. The situation was uncomfortable. I mean, it's just difficult to be hanging, but there was some pain going on. And how many of us right now, or this past week, or this past year, have experienced pain, difficulty, hardship, and all the other stuff that we don't really like to feel? But regardless of what this individual was going through and the inevitable that faces all of us, they still managed to pay attention to what's here, to notice it, and to appreciate what was here. In their case, the luscious berry. So, with that little story, hopefully we can all find, after these 7 days, berries everywhere and all the time. I'm showing this picture not to just show you I prefer dark mode on my browsers, but that what the definition is of gratitude. So it's this quality meaning it's like a state, a state of being, an essence, a feel, a vibe of being thankful, of being grateful, with right, a readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness and to return kindness. So we'll work a lot this week with gratitude, with being thankful, with perhaps a readiness to share and show appreciation. And hopefully, with some of the things that we'll be doing and learning this week, we'll also be able to return some of this kindness, some of this kindness. So I'd like for us to do a little activity right now. And I'd like to bring attention towards the chat, towards the chat. And if you're watching this on replay, this is my moment where I say hello to you. And I'll read whatever happens in the chat. But you can also think about this, maybe write it down. But maybe in the chat, you can put something that you appreciate. If there's a few things that come to mind, if there's just one, just one. If there isn't any, that's okay. That's what we're working with. We're not going to be comparing ourselves to others. We're just working with ourselves and our own experience. So let's take maybe a minute, put something in the chat. Family I'm seeing. Having my mother in my life. Guess I should write something. Seeing friends also. I put water technology and central heating. My ears for being able to hear so much with. Thank you, Laura. Peace and quiet. Silence should be heard. Having time to myself. Oh, yes. Motivating team and sunny day. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. Think about how many of us right now on this planet don't have a family, don't have a mother in their lives, friends. How many individuals right now don't have access to water, to the internet working, to heating? How many people don't have ears or can't find that peace and quiet? Having time to myself, yes. Be surprised how difficult that is for so many of us. And we're not always so blessed with motivating teams and sunny days. And as we reflect about this exercise that we just did, how does it make you feel to appreciate? Do you notice any emotions or any moods? Anything happening in the body? Maybe observing what thoughts are coming up, what stories or links we're making. Lots and lots of learning from this simple exercise. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, everyone that's watching the replay. Okay. So how? A little bit of the journey that we're going to be on for the next 7 days until next Monday. I just like this comic because, it highlights life. And I know it's difficult for us as humans to accept the fact that we have ups and downs, and that life is filled with pleasures and pains and good moments and bad moments, easier times to appreciate, more difficult times. So just knowing that we're all on a journey, all on different parts of that journey. And I want everyone to know that you're welcomed regardless of where you're at right now. But maybe the first few days will be more difficult just because you're getting more familiar with me, with the app, with the exercises, with the group. And hopefully by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, it will be more smooth sailing. And I hope that by next week, you'll be ready to take on new challenges while using appreciation as an extra tool in your toolkit. So today is the kickoff. We're meeting right now. I'm going to post a activity or a task later today just to commit ourselves. I'm going to commit myself to be here with you all for the next few days. And hopefully you all can commit to take part in a majority of the exercises, the asks. And then we're going to have 7 days, or maybe 6 days, since I'm counting today as one day, 6 days of teeny activities, calling them teeny or tiny activities, because I want them to be short and I want them to be sweet. I know how busy we are and how hectic we are, so I want to keep them small, practical, so you could try them out throughout your day. Nonetheless, though, some of you may be more interested in more or doing these activities longer. So there's going to be additional things that you can do optionally. I found a nice resource where I'll be tying in with videos and reading material as well. So the activity will be supplemented on by that. And there will be some chat discussions. So you can post what you've learned or what you've noticed or what you appreciate or what you did, and we can learn from each other. That's why I really enjoy the power of these team challenges is, yes, we can do so much and go so fast by ourselves, but if we want to go far and if we want to learn a lot, we learn from each other. So keeping that in mind, and I'm already appreciating everyone that's posting in the chat and sharing. You could share a photo, an article, a word, a sentence, whatever, and however you feel most comfortable. You can also just write to me directly and then I could post it. So we're really doing our best to be inclusive here. And then next week, I'll give you some options and you can meet with me for 15 minutes and we could have a little one-on-one session about the journey you were just on. What I want to call the gratitude session. And we'll just take some time to meet. So that's a little bit about the journey. I wanted now to pause, we're good on time, to see if there's any questions or comments, maybe some gratitude stories or anything else. If I'm grabbing my phone, if you're not familiar with the app or haven't downloaded it yet, the task will be directly in the phone. You can see me there, you can see the team there, the history of the activities, and there's also the chat. And I want to appreciate Laura for, I can't see that, for welcoming everyone. All right. So how's that sound? Any questions or anything about that's coming up? Feel free to use the chat or unmute yourself. Because and if no, if someone is having any difficulty joining the challenge or joining the app, feel free to write to Laura. Laura, I think I remember your email. I don't think it's too difficult, right? Laura@uloo.me, right? Okay. So
As you said before, is short and sweet. So it's as mentioned Patrick before. Yeah, just give me a shout, write me an email, or just through the chat if it's easier for you guys. Ask me anything, whatever it pops up in your mind. Patrick is gonna be there as well. So yeah, I'm really excited. I would like to start this 7 days of gratitude, saying thank you. So I think it's the best start. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate this opportunity that I have. So yeah, I'm very excited. As I mentioned before in the chat, I hope all of you guys are so excited as I am. So I always feel like I don't know what's happening in my life, but I always realize that when I appreciate the things around me, I'm feeling much better and my day gets even better.
Okay, well, Laura and I will stick around for a few more minutes if there's any questions or comments. We'll also end the recording now. And anyone that's watching the replay, again, feel free to reach out to us if need be. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.